Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, ask and answer a question, and reveal the book's up off this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching a Comic Hero Show. Now kick that intro! This week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nolly, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Brain Tumor Awareness Month. Now I'm going to touch base on that a little later on, but for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode, I asked, true or false? Jimmy Olsen was originally created for the Adventures of Superman radio program. Well, the correct answer is both true and false. Now, it's false because technically he made his first appearance in Action Comics number 6 in 1938 as an unnamed newsboy who was listening in on a conversation between Perry White and Clark Kent. But then in 1940, for the Adventures of Superman radio program, he was the producer, came up with the name Jimmy Olsen, and that was the name that they went with throughout the entire duration of the program. And then the very next year, in 1941, he was formally introduced as Jimmy Olsen in Superman number 13. So if you answered both true or false, you're right. And 10 people have answered, and because they've answered, their name's been entered in a drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this episode of the show is Marissa Peebles from Minden, Louisiana. So congratulations, Marissa. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Fantastic Four question. Which Fantastic Four villain once killed Thanos? Alright, here's the hints. The first hint is that this villain made their first appearance in the Fantastic Four number 5 in 1962 and was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. The second hint, and this is a dead giveaway, this villain has been regarded as the arch nemesis of the Fantastic Four. And then the third and final hint, and this is also a dead giveaway, especially if you're a moviegoer. This villain was the main antagonist in Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then that piece of junk Fantastic Four movie in 2015. But in the first two movies, he was played by Julian McMahon. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. So, I gotta ask, any questions?
Questions I walk around in, questions I didn't thrive in, questions I will survive in, questions.
This question comes from Danelle Robinette from Warren, Ohio. She asked, how often should the sleeves on store comics be changed? Well, Danelle, I don't know about anyone else, but I never changed them. Because once I put them in a bag and board, as I call them, I don't do anything else with them. Now I'll put them in, as soon as I put them in the bag and board, I'll put them up in either a long box, a bookshelf, or a file cabinet, depending on the category. I promised y'all a while back that I would show y'all the library. Well, there's no library just yet, or the library in terms of what I want. So, but one day I will show y'all. Now there are two different kinds of sleeves. There's the regular sleeves that have the flap, and what you're supposed to do, once you put the book inside the bag and board, you tape the flap down. Now you could either use clear tape, you could use any form of tape, but personally I use regular tape, like the kind that you would use to wrap Christmas presents or birthday presents or whatever. And then there's also the other one, there's the other bag that's resealable. You don't have to worry about tape or anything. All you have to do once you put the bag in, Just take the adhesive off and then seal it up. But that's a good question. And Danelle, thank you so much for that question. And really loving these questions y'all are asking me. And keep them up. I'm going to have another Any Questions segment on episode 483. Not 483, episode 482. Now, they can either pertain to the show or they can pertain to me in terms of both the show or the hobby. But please, no tasteless or personal questions. I will neither ask nor answer them on this show. All right, let's get to the comics I bought this week. Comic books I bought this week. All right, here we go. First up, and I'm really excited about this book, is Blood Hunt #1. The Flash Annual 2024. The Immortal Thor #10. The Incredible Hulk #12. The Invincible Iron Man #18. And folks, I'm really excited about this book. Y'all have no idea. Space Ghost #1. Superman House of Brainiac Special. Weapon X-Men #3. And finally, X-Men #34. All right, that's 9, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 12,860. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. And here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. Which Fantastic Four villain once killed Thanos? Now, here are the hints again. The first hint is that this villain made his first appearance in Fantastic Four #5 in 1962 and was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. The second hint, this villain is the Fantastic Four's arch nemesis. And then the third and final hint, this villain has been the main antagonist in both Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer in 2004 and 2007 respectively, and has been played by Julian McMahon. Everyone went, oh, and also, I just want to throw this one in for free. This villain is a native and the ruler of the fictitious European country Latveria. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Marissa Peebles from Minden, Louisiana, won a free tee on this episode. All right, now this month is Brain Tumor Awareness Month. Now, a brain tumor is a growth of cells in the brain or near it. Nearby locations include the nerves, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, and the membranes that cover the surface of the brain. Now, general signs and symptoms caused by brain tumors may include headache or pressure in the head that is worse in the morning, headaches that happen more often and seem more severe, headaches that are sometimes described as tension headaches or migraines, nausea or vomiting, eye problems such as blurry vision, seeing double or losing sight on the sides of your vision, losing or feeling movement in your arm or leg, trouble with balance, speech problems, feeling very tired, confusion in everyday matters, memory problems, having trouble following simple commands, personality or behavior changes, seizures, especially if there's no history of seizures, hearing problems, dizziness or a sense that the world is spinning, which is also known as vertigo, and feeling hungry and gaining weight. Now, there are more than 200,000 cases per year in the US, which makes it very rare, and it can be dangerous or life-threatening if untreated. Now, I personally know a little girl who was diagnosed with a brain tumor and passed away from it 15 years ago. And I went to school with both of her parents, and I know they're both watching, and I just want to say I love y'all, and I'm going to keep raising awareness of this cause every May. And then one of the great R&B singers, a person that I still listen to all the time. I'm talking about the late great James Ingram, passed away from complications of a brain tumor 5 years ago. And then one of the great actors and game show hosts died from complications of a brain tumor, and I'm talking about Burt Convy. He did a lot of acting roles in the 60s and 70s, and then and this is for folks who are my age or a little older. He was also the host of 2 game shows. He was the host of Tattletales, and he was also the host of a revival of the Password franchise called Super Password, in which he hosted from 84 to 87. And but I say this all the time, but if there's something not right with you, please sir, please ma'am, get checked out. And if you have a child and there's something not right with them, get them checked out. I mean, these are your lives and you deserve to live them. And this is a brain tumor awareness comic hero tee. And if you would like one, you can find them on IamTheComicHero.com for $17. All right, here's the road ahead for the show. On episode 481, which I'm doing next week, I'm going to raise awareness of lupus. On episode 482, I'm raising awareness of mental health, which is something that doesn't really get the due diligence that it deserves. Even now more than ever. Then on episode 483, I'm celebrating Memorial Day. And on episode 484, it's back, folks. The Summer of Superheroes, Part 6. And just like I said on last week's episode, the first superhero I'm going to show some love in this year's Summer of Superheroes is Black Widow. This year marks her 60th anniversary, and I'm going to wear a comic hero tee in observance. All right, now I didn't get a chance to go to East Texas Comic-Con like I wanted to. I had a few other engagements that I had to be part of, but I hope that each and every one of y'all, especially those that are watching the East Texas Comic-Con fans Facebook page, I hope y'all had fun, and hopefully I'll be able to see y'all next year. And I forgot to mention that last weekend was the holiday. It was Free Comic Book Day. I picked up some free comics, and I'm going to feature them in a mystery pop-up segment on episode 481. So I'm just going to let y'all know ahead of time, there will be a mystery pop-up segment on that episode. So be on the lookout. All right, and lastly, meet me at the Earl J. Barbary Senior Convention Center in Marksville, Louisiana, which is the site of the 4th annual Sinlock Collector Con. It's in the very back of Paragon Casino and Resorts, and really had a lot of fun doing it for the first time last year, and I'm really looking forward to doing it this year. And yeah. Oh, and also in the mystery pop-up segment, in addition to revealing the comics I got for free, I'm also going to celebrate all military personnel. This month is Military Appreciation Month, and I'm going to celebrate every man and woman who is currently serving in any of the 6 branches of the U.S. military. So tune into that. All right, if you're watching this on the Comic Book Lovers Facebook page, welcome, and as soon as you're done, hit subscribe. Or go on YouTube and hit subscribe. And if you're watching this on the East Texas Comic-Con fans Facebook page, welcome. As soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. And if you're watching this directly from YouTube, welcome. And as soon as you're done, hit subscribe. All right, I'm Victor Nolly on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 481. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and go Gray in May.